Season 19 of the IPL is here, and it begins with a blockbuster. King Kohli and RCB take on the explosive Sunrisers Hyderabad. Last season, a dream was finally fulfilled for RCB. Now, the challenge is even greater. Can they make it 2-2? A feat achieved only by IPL's most dominant dynasties. But, standing in their way, a team that changed the game. SRH redefined T20 batting in 2024. After a disappointing 2025, they return with an even bigger ambition. Can they take the game to the next level? And the drama continues on Sunday. IPL's joint most successful franchise, Mumbai Indians, up against the three-time champions, Kolkata Knight Riders. Mumbai Indians, qualifier 2 last season, still chasing their first title since 2020. A sixth crown will take them ahead in the race for IPL greatness. But KKR arrived with a point to prove. Champions in 2024, disappointment in 2025. Now comes the reboot. New hopes, new hunger. Get set for a season like never before. Season 19 promises bigger scores, more sixes, and maximum entertainment. Records will tumble, and who knows, maybe, just maybe, 300 will finally be breached. Icons and superstars return with renewed hunger. But Gen Next is ready to challenge the best. A new season, it's the next chapter of cricket's greatest show. Save the date, 28th of March, a blockbuster start.
Well, it is that time of the year जब कानों में सिर्फ एक ही गूंज सुनाई देती है। टाटा IPL 2026 अब बस कुछ ही दिन दूर है एंड IPL टुडे लाइव में आप सभी का स्वागत। फेवरेट प्लेयर्स, आपकी फेवरेट टीम्स, सबके बारे में लेकर आएंगे बहुत सारी अपडेट्स, चाहे वो प्लेयर इंटरव्यूज हो, चाहे प्रैक्टिस के सारे अपडेट्स हो या फिर हो ऑफ द पिच, सारे के सारे ट्रेंडिंग टॉपिक्स, एवरीथिंग विल बी हियर फॉर यू ऑन IPL टुडे लाइव। लेकिन जो टाटा IPL 2026 है उसकी शुरुआत कब से हो रही है गाइज? इट्स टाइम टू मार्क योर कैलेंडर्स। यस, जो ब्लॉकबस्टर ओपनिंग है वहां पे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस रॉयल चैलेंजर्स बेंगलुरु के सामने होंगे द वेरी अटैकिंग सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद। दिस इज वेयर यू टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट बिकॉज दिस इज वेयर आवर पार्टी बिगिंस। 28th March 2026, that's the D-Day where defending champions Royal Challengers Bengaluru will face off Sunrisers Hyderabad, and you can imagine the fireworks. I'm sure I don't have to stress upon that, but what I would really like to remind you is that जो हमारे बेस्ट हैं उनका टेस्ट लेने के लिए जेन नेक्स्ट हो रही है तैयार। यस, अभिषेक शर्मा नंबर 1 T20 बैटर, तिलक वर्मा एब्सोल्यूट फायर पावर, यशस्वी जायसवाल, लेकिन सामने वैभव सूर्यवंशी भी तो हैं एंड आयुष मात्रे को हम कैसे भूल सकते हैं। और हम आपको एक और चीज भी याद दिला दें कि जो हमारे 3 आइकॉन्स हैं यानी कि महेंद्र सिंह धोनी, रोहित शर्मा, किंग कोहली, वो भी तो आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ टाटा IPL के मंच पर ही दिखते हैं। तभी तो हम पूरे साल टाटा IPL का इंतजार करते हैं ताकि हम अपने जो लेजेंड्स हैं उन्हें एक बार फिर से इन एक्शन देख पाएं। एंड व्हाट्स ट्रेंडिंग अहेड ऑफ दिस टाटा IPL 2026? लेट्स लिसन इन।
Winners of IPL 2025, Royal Challengers Bengaluru will be keen to defend their title as Captain Rajat Patidar and team get ready to play the opening game on the 28th of March. one of the most successful teams in the IPL, Mumbai Indians last won their title in 2020. Will the five-time winners break the jinx and end the title drought this year? From being called the Daddy's Army to having the most riz, CSK are a side revamped with youngsters leading the charge. Sanju Samson's addition has given them the perfect boost before the tournament. Turning the claws with Russian rockstar Jadeja back, playing for Rajasthan Royals. The Jaipur, can the trend continue for teams looking to win their first title? Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals and Lucknow Super Giants will definitely hope as they begin their IPL campaign.
We know what you're discussing on social media. We know the burning questions, all the hot topics, and that's why IPL Today Live पर हम आपके लिए ये जो hot and spicy debate है ये हर रोज लेकर आने वाले हैं. So for today, Abhinav Mukund, please take over.
The Tata IPL champions of 2023 are CSK for the 5th time.
Five-time champion Chennai Super Kings. Last time when they won, MS Dhoni was the captain after they tried out Jadeja. But the last two seasons saw disappointing performances. For the first time, the Yellow Army's trust seemed to waver.
It's RCB who qualified for the playoffs. It's a spectacular comeback.
Chennai failed to reach the playoffs for 2 consecutive seasons. MS Dhoni was again under the scanner. After all, how long can Mahendra Bahubali keep defending the Chennai fortress? Who will lead CSK into the new era? Ruturaj is talented but is still inexperienced as a captain in the toughest T20 league. Mahi doesn't play outside the IPL. And how long is he likely to play? That's why a major decision was taken. Sanju Samson was traded into CSK. Just like Dhoni, he too is known for his calmness. A wicketkeeper who has captained an IPL team in the past. The big question on everyone's mind is Sanju Samson ready to usher in a new era for the Chennai Super Kings?
Hello and welcome to this very special offering. This is the hot take with Tata IPL 2026 merely days away. Anticipation is palpable. And who better than some superstars and icons of the game like AB de Villiers and Anil Kumble to discuss some burning stories just ahead of this big season. This topic will revolve around Chennai Super Kings. Today, we're going to discuss how Sanju Samson's addition to the men in yellow, does it actually cause a change in the shift of the fan? Is it something where CSK move out of the shadow of MS Dhoni? Anil bhai, let me begin with you. Because for nearly 2 decades, CSK's identity has revolved around MS Dhoni. He's turning 45 this year. And Sanju Samson suddenly come into this yellow setup where he's become a fan favorite even before he's played a single ball or even worn the jersey. After a sensational World Cup campaign, is it the right time for the squad to think, yes, we have got someone from the fans' perspective even that could maybe outlast the shadow of a big presence like MS Dhoni?
Icons from one generation to the other has happened, I think, in Indian cricket. If you look at Sachin Tendulkar, before that it was Sunil Gavaskar. If you look at that, from Sachin, then to Virat, then, of course, MS was also there at that time. You had Rahul Dravid, you had the Saurav Gangulys, and then suddenly you had the shift of MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli for a long period of time, and they still do continue to have that aura and continue to perform. So yes, in that sense, Sanju coming in, I think is a great move for CSK. The icing on the cake has been his fantastic form leading into the IPL and winning the tournament, World Cup for India in those 3 back-to-back fantastic knocks of his. So I'm sure that will certainly contribute to the fan following. And I think from a Chennai perspective, Sanju sort of fits into their mold of who they want to follow too. And him being a South Indian, Kerala born, so obviously the connect is already there. He speaks Tamil, which sort of, again, there's a connect. And him being a wicketkeeper batter certainly is the same mold as an MS. And the experience that he has had, I'm sure will be the icing for CSK.
Maybe where I want to come to you is because you're coming to a legacy team like Chennai Super Kings. If you looked at RCB in the mid 2010s, it was Virat, it was ABD, it was Chris Gayle. Feels like Chennai Super Kings are still on the MS Dhoni. There was Suresh Raina a lot and maybe a little bit of Ravindra Jadeja. The whole connect with the fans, where you've got Sanju coming off a player of the tournament performance, but also the fact that there was a massive roar when India played Zimbabwe and they said Sanju Samson's playing in the 11. The entire Chepauk crowd just went on its feet. Is it just a case for CSK to say, okay, our new identity is built around Sanju Samson?
Yeah, I watched Anil speak then. He was picking his words carefully there. The thing is, it's a fascinating topic and a very tricky one as well. It's not just plain simple and straightforward. It's almost like brands are built over years, and CSK has built up this empire over many years with this MS Dhoni figure that's always been there. And you're 100% right. When you mention CSK, immediately you think of Dhoni, but that is almost created by the fans, right? It's not the individual that go on to win a trophy. It ultimately ends up being a team performance. We watched RCB do that last year, and I feel CSK is in that tricky situation now where I think the role of MS Dhoni the last few years has purely been about brand building or keeping that brand as strong as possible. And that's why I mentioned you got to pick your words carefully, because I don't see a role for MS batting at 8 or 9 and not really doing enough, That's what I felt maybe the last few seasons, pushing himself really late in the order. We know he can be very impactful with the bat in hand, but if he's going to play that role of batting at 8 or 9 and not really captaining, then I just feel he's almost making up a spot and just almost there for the wrong reasons. And that's not the position that he deserves to be in my opinion. So I feel there's a place still for MSD in the team, but he's got to bat himself up at, I'd say, the latest 6. I would like to even see him at 5 or 4 sometimes. So it is a tricky situation, but Sanju Samson, obviously the right guy to take over, and that's where I got to be waiting for the right person to come around and to take over the reins from him. I feel Sanju is the right guy for that, but I would like MS, if he's going to play this season, I want him to put himself under a bit more pressure and where he deserves to be, the guy to handle those big moments.
We've watched the IPL, follow it very closely. Every single time there is an injury to the captain, all roads lead back to MS Dhoni. If there is a change in field, if even sometimes umpires get confused with DRS calls and keep looking behind the stumps, and it's quite a natural thing. With Sanju Samson coming into this side, Anil Bhai, does it mean the dynamic shift? There is a broader leadership group, even with Rituraj as captain. Sanju is the one handling all of these other things, almost like a vice captain, so to say, where the dynamic shifts in favor of all of these other players in Chennai Super Kings.
Absolutely. I think that's the perfect role for a Sanju. I mean, he's already been a captain for Rajasthan for a long period of time. So that leadership role comes naturally to him now. And that's something that I'm sure CSK will be looking for. I mean, last year, when Ruturaj was injured, then obviously, MS had to take over. Previously, Ravindra and midway through the season, MS came back in as captain. So there have been some challenges in terms of identifying who the next captain would be for MS. So Ruturaj has now been identified, and it's really good that he's been continued as the captain, despite Sanju coming back into the scheme of things. So, but I think won't be surprised that if MS sort of gives Sanju the keeping roles as well. I mean, maybe not in the first game, but possibly during the IPL at some point in time. And I'm sure he will be a part of the leadership group. And in case there is a reason for Ruturaj not to play because of injury or what. Take over and not.
Anil, if you don't mind, sorry, Abhinav, if I jump in there. So if Sanju is keeping, then let's say he starts keeping wicket. Is there still a role for MS to play in that middle order?
Maybe just as an impact batter. I mean, depending on how his form is and whether he's fit to take that position. I agree with you, AB, that even last year we were talking about it while the games were on, that MS needs to come up.
Just the pressure of leading a legacy franchise like this, where there's someone like MS who's cast a huge shadow. We've had guys who not come in and face so much success. How much of that pressure will be there on someone like Ruturaj? Because they've never had options in the past, CSK. Now there is a viable, suitable option in Sanju Samson. How much of that does it work in the IPL, especially with a legacy team like CSK?
Yeah, I personally feel that I've got the right captain, and I don't think they are in that mindset of possibly getting Sanju in as captain. I think they've warmed up to Ruturaj now over the last few years, and now it comes back to clarity once again. Stick with the one guy. Don't even entertain any of the media or the press coming out and saying, Sanju, is he going to be captain? Is he taking over? No one once again needs that in the CSK setup. No one needs that kind of uncomfortable feeling in the squad. Be clear, be upfront. And I think that's maybe a discussion they should have before the start of the season. Get MS in alongside Ruturaj and Sanju. And whoever else you think might be part of the leadership group, and have those kind of discussions, and how we're going to face up to the media if those chats come up and the questions. We are direct, we are clear, and straight to the point. Ruturaj is our man. There are no